Hey everybody, Astrology Time, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com. Today is the 21st of April, so what do we got going for you? Well, Taurus season is in full swing, right? And the moon in Gemini starts void of course, so not a great day for starting anything, but we may be following up on some things. So there's a lot of things that we can follow up on, and let's just do that, okay? And not only that, but we need to be pushing along in a very Taurus way, right? Very determined. The moon is going to enter Cancer at 1 p.m., so that's going to spark some intuition, right? We were relying on that a lot a couple months ago, right? But now we had this, all that action in Aries, the Aries season, and it still had a little Pisces feeling to it, the beginning of it. But now we're really pushing and we're really starting to move, and we're moving in straightforward directions. All the planets are moving forward currently, so we don't have any planets retrograde. We won't have anybody retrograde until Pluto goes retrograde on May 6th. So what do we got going on? Well, look, there's a strange magic in the air as we move through our day. For me personally, it's very much tied to Jupiter and Venus. Was actually out tonight, saw the moon up in the sky, the moon being in Gemini, and was very easily able to see Jupiter sitting off to the side, just up there gleaming, right? So, very nice, very nice sight. So, Venus is going to be changing signs this week and entering Gemini on Friday. Think about that. So we got, the Jupiter in Cancer, Venus in Gemini. Okay, so what's going on? And that means Venus is pretty close to the sun. We can't quite see her yet. All right, Sue, think about this. Now, this means she's going to be joining up with Uranus and Taurus. I'm feeling this already as opportunity knocks with new possibilities. Also, the short posts on Instagram are beginning to outperform the shorts on TikTok. Can you believe that? Just in terms of views and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy, but that's a new possibility. That's something that's surprising that I didn't expect to see. Also, look, today we need to take responsibility by the horns and steer it in a direction that will improve our standing. Taurus imagery, right? Steady, strong, directing. Now, this isn't time for Aries flash. There's a deeper calling that's coming from the watery places in our charts. Okay, because we have that moon in there activating some of those. We also have Jupiter in Cancer that's been activating that for quite some time. And Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. And so we want good things for ourselves, for our homes, for our security, for our sense of well-being. And it's going to expand. This is expanding this in ways that we haven't even considered before, because it's happening intuitively. It's happening without us really doing much of anything. It's kind of like being brought to us, but we have to be able to pick up on the signals. Now, this is a 3D matter, and it is a new seedling. Think about that. Do the right things to care for this. And today's keyword is nurture, because that's what the moon does. That's what the sign of Cancer does best. And the color is forsythia blooms. Those are yellow flowers that are everywhere, right? The sun in Taurus is settling in. Work is almost routine. Success, it continues to stack up. Little micro successes as we start building, right? I feel like we are slowly building up to something. Yep, they stack those successes. Once the moon enters Cancer, our intuition perks up, and it's almost like it was when all those planets were in Pisces. Only now the planets in Aries are working to present us with opportunities that are compelling and alluring. We have a funny sense of discipline thanks to Saturn in Aries, slowing the roll of the other planets there. That's right. We're doing it, but we're doing it on our own terms. We're not really rushing into it. And if you're rushing, you're not feeling the flow. You got to really listen and just pull back a little bit. Just feel guided. The guided feeling will actually take you to where you want to be much more what's the word, expeditious manner than just going headlong into it. It's one of those weird things, right? It's almost like the harder we try, the more it will fail. The less we try or the less we consider it, the more likely it is to be already happening. So we are still compelled to act, however, and to do so, not to our detriment. Saturn is testing your resolve. So think about that. We're still being tested by Saturn, but it's going to help us slow down to make sure that we can get to this place. Now, use today for practical business communications. All right? Leverage any tech experience you may have, you may possess, anything that you may be doing. Now, the Cancer Moon is taking our cues from Venus and Taurus. We will be wanting the good life, and we are willing to pay a little bit more to experience this on our own terms. I am seeing it play out not just in my experience, what's happening, what's going on around me, but also how the attitudes of others have begun to shift, particularly in the last, say, week or so. It's really starting to shift to this mindset, right, of that good life. And I want what I want. I think I'm willing to pay for it. Not I think I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to put money down for it. Okay? Now, I experience this almost daily at my job, right? So what are you experiencing? Let me know. Let me know if you've felt this change, this shift, this wanting what you want, and because it's very much in keeping with Jupiter in Cancer, and now we're going to have the Moon in Cancer, and that's what's highlighting this for us, right? We still have a couple seasons to go through, so it's going to be quite interesting as we're just beginning to embark on this Taurus season. Now, speaking of that, look, our thoughts, they're racing, but by the time we get to set our hands to the task, the discipline is beginning to show up for us. It's there, right? You can feel it. You're not doing the rash things. You're actually being circumspect about it. You're not necessarily, well, we do think about it, and we're thinking about it in real time, and it's really just bam, 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 firing, but it's firing on all cylinders because it's slowed down a little bit, because we do realize that we have this obstacle that we're working against, and we just have to be able to find a way to get over it without defeating our purpose, defeating ourselves, having it be a self-defeating. So, look, Taurus season, that's practical. Venus and Uranus, they're essentially conjunct. They're going to perfect on Thursday. So expect surprises in the Taurus areas of your life, right? Romance, art, the good life, money, quintessential Taurus thing, right? Status, power, right? Things that Taurus loves. So things that Taurus is just like, yes, I do like those things because I like the luxury that those things bring to me. Figuratively speaking. So, folks with planets in the late degrees of Taurus, look, you're going to be in for a rocky week, because this is where relationships are being tested, and markets, they're going to respond favorably to something that's going to occur this week as well. So we're probably going to see a general upturn there. Focus on home and family, however, and make the most of your time together. Don't push for the sake of pushing. Push intuitively and only jump if it's necessary. So, our event is in 1820. A Danish scientist by the name of Hans Christian Ørsted is the first to identify electromagnetism by observing a compass needle. And our birth is Iggy Pop. He's 79 today. He's born in 1947. He's an American singer and lyricist, and you should know Iggy Pop, right? He's called the Godfather of Punk. He's with the Stooges, I Want to Be Your Dog, and he did Lust for Life. He's born in Muskegon, Michigan. And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, TikTok, pick up the pace. Let's do the sharing. Let's do the saving. Let's do the saving for later. Does well, and so do comments, right? We get that going, we get ourselves on a roll once again. And, as always, I appreciate everything you guys do for me. just to get the word out there, because what we have here is kind of special, right? It's a nice community. I do reach out to everybody who reaches out to me. So if you haven't reached out to me before, go ahead and do so. Come with a comment. And the more detailed the comment, the more likely I am to give you a detailed answer. And that is all I have for you. Today is a 5. Happy astrocatting.